On this episode of The AutoArchaeologist, we're going to be talking through Hot Rod Power Tour 2026 and all the big plans that we have lined up for the MoPowered Tour. So this is going to be a little bit of a different style of episode. I'm going to be going through what's going to be occurring on the MoPowered Tour, which is a tour within the Hot Rod Power Tour. It's mostly Mopar guys. We do let everyone in, but it's mostly Mopars, and mostly old Mopars except for mine. Other newer cars do join us, but it's like my friend Steve has come with his 72 Challenger, Mike Meads obviously, in his 70 Coronet RT. Got Jason and Laura in their 70 Dodge pickup truck, and like Rob in his 72 Cuda. So, but that's just the start. We've had as many as 100 cars in our group and as few as 2. So this is going to be a very unique year for Hot Rod Power Tour because it's starting in Joliet at Route 66 Raceway on June 8th. And it ends in Tulsa, Oklahoma on June 12th, that Friday. Let me give you a little bit of backstory. Hot Rod Power Tour is basically, it used to be 7 cities in 7 days. You would travel all together. First, there used to be meetings in the morning where everyone would gather and then they'd all cruise to the next venue that day. And then when you're done cruising, there's a giant car show at a venue, and then you have fun and go different places and see different people. After I think it was 2020 with COVID, they pared it down to 5 days. So it's Monday through Friday now. That way people have time to get to the power tour to begin, and they have time to get home. Before, there used to be a long hauler meeting, get together photo on the Saturday after the full power tour. And that was great, but a lot of older people, let's say, complained about that. And so that no longer exists, even though those were some of my favorite memories. The first, I think, 5 or 6 years they did it when I started. I started in 2008, and this is going to be my 17th long haul. I've never done anything but long hauls. I started in 2008, like I said, with my grandfather's Caprice. That was my graduation gift from my family, was to pay for Hot Rod Power Tour. My father and I, we took the Caprice and we did it. That was, started in Little Rock, Arkansas, I believe, and ended in Madison, Wisconsin. And then I did one more year with the Caprice because the Challenger, I'd ordered the Challenger, but that was when they filed for bankruptcy, so it wasn't ready in time. So I took it in 2009, and 2010 on, it's been the Blue Challenger. I am building my green 71 to be able to do Power Tour, but you need to know a few things about Power Tour. Power Tour isn't all about the cruising. That's the main purpose, you know, the journey is the purpose. But when you get to a venue or you get to these small towns sometimes, there's issues where there's huge backups, hours sometimes of backups. And you need to make sure that your car has a proper cooling system to be able to handle that. And I don't mean like sitting in traffic in Chicago or in LA. I mean hours of sitting in sometimes 100-degree temperatures, moving inches because of delays. So that's why I'm making sure that the cooling system on this green car is up to snuff. That's another reason it's not going to be ready for a power tour this year, maybe next year. I'm literally looking at a table of parts. I got the new water pump that I showed in the previous videos. I got alternator, I got electric fans on there, got a big radiator. It should be good, except for I don't have an overdrive. And right now, the rear gear in the green car, I have a 410 Sure Grip in the back with no gear vendors or anything. So I'm actually probably going to swap that out for like 291s out of an Imperial or something. But that's for the future Ryan. Current Ryan is going to be driving his blue 2009 Challenger RT that has gone on, see, I've done this 16, so 14 of them have been with the blue car. And I will probably hit 305,000 miles on it, I think, on this trip. because thankfully enough, it starts near my home. I live here in Chicago, but it's going to Tulsa. And that's another cool thing is, because this is the 100th anniversary of Route 66, the actual cruising is mostly on Route 66. We deviate for the second travel day, or the first travel day, when we go to Rondout, to the abandoned military base. We go way off the route and then we go back. Let me give you an overview of what the route is. The Hot Rod Power Tour starts on June 8th at Route 66 Raceway in Joliet, Illinois. That's also the location of the famous scene in the Blues Brothers at the Joliet State Prison. The MoPowered Tour will be visiting there probably Monday night after the venue. We're not doing anything during the event, during the venue on Monday, because it's just too hard to coordinate. But afterwards, we have dinner plans at this place called Aurelio's that has really good pizza. And people need to know what good deep dish Chicago pizza is. All this information is at the website below. It's like MoPowered Tour, theMoPoweredTour.wordpress.com. I'll put it down here in the video. Also, it will be in the description below, but I have a breakdown of what we're doing every single day. Let me take a step back. You can, if you are registered for the Power Tour, you can actually get there on Sunday and get your credentials early. You're going to be able to get your credentials at actually Chicagoland Speedway, from what the documentation shows. And that's going to be pretty cool, because I don't think they've used that track in 10 years, but they keep it nice. But the actual Power Tour is going to be at Route 66 drag strip, famous for NHRA and such. So that's Sunday on to Monday. Tuesday, what we do is we meet up and we go to breakfast. We all meet up at a single local restaurant, and we all leave together at 8 a.m. So for Tuesday, we're meeting at Big Apple Restaurant in Joliet. And like I said, we're leaving there at 8 a.m. On the Power Tour route, basically, you're following Route 66 out of Joliet. It's southwest direction, but they don't meander much off of it. They're going to pass like the Gemini Giant at its new home in, I'm blanking what the town is. I'll put the town here in the description, in the video. That's on the way. We're going to be going, our group is going to stop in Pontiac, Michigan. The Pontiac Historical Society for Pontiac cars. I know it's not a Mopar thing, but it's a really nice museum. I've been there before. It's in the downtown. There's a bunch of beautiful murals, a lot of cool things to see in the downtown, because it's an old time square. So that's where we're going to stop on Tuesday, and then continue on, because the next stop is in Rantoul, Illinois. Rantoul is famous for having an airbase there, or they did have an airbase there. It closed up in the 2010s, I think. I know the museum closed in the 2010s, but that's where the Power Tour is going to be going. So we're driving from Joliet to Rantoul, and then no dinner plans really, but the Pontiac stop. Okay, so let me go back. Monday is the Power Tour stop at Joliet. Tuesday is the stop from Joliet to Rantoul. Wednesday is Rantoul to what we used to call a Great Gateway Raceway outside of St. Louis. It's, I think, Worldwide Worldwide Technology Raceway. That's a mouthful. But what we do is we're going to go from Rantoul, we're going basically back the same way we came, all the way back to Route 66, and then it's Route 66 for the most part, all the way down to, let's call it St. Louis. And that is one of the most densely packed parts of Route 66. So we got a lot of cool stuff. In Atlanta, Illinois, there's the American Giants Museum. They have, I think, the largest collection of muffler men in the country. So that's brand new. That only happened within the last few years. So that will be cool to check out. Also, we're going to go to the Route 66 experience at the State Fairgrounds in Illinois, just in Springfield. The Power Tour route actually goes around this. It actually takes the bypass around Springfield instead of going the old route through downtown Springfield. So, and this experience is brand new. I did contact Illinois, the Route 66 committee, and there's plenty of parking, and it's going to be open. It's free. They accept donations, but it should be really cool. I've never seen this. I've always wanted to go check it out. And then from there, we might go for a photo op. Just down the road, there's an abandoned drive-in movie theater just off the route. Depends on how many people are coming and how far behind we are. I think it'd be cool. The old drive-in sign is there, and you can see the old movie screen is still up. It's like all covered in weeds and such. So we'll see. But then we continue on over to Gateway, and that would be Wednesday. For Thursday morning, we're going from Gateway to Springfield, Missouri, home of Mike Mead's and, the giant pork sandwich that's out there. But that morning, on Thursday morning, we're going to meet up at Bob Evans Restaurant. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything in Collinsville that was reasonably close to the route, because I try to find something close to the route. I try to find local stuff, but sometimes it just doesn't work. I looked all through the area, and there was nothing that could fit a group of people and was close to the route. So Bob Evans it is. It's right off the route. We can get on and go pretty easily. Nice big parking lot. That's normally our MO, because we've been to Gateway a bunch in the last decade. And this is another one that is extremely densely packed with Route 66 artifacts. This is the famous, if you want the Uranus fudge, the chocolate place. That's on the way. And but we're also going to be passing a few friends of mine. If we had time, there's a really nice Mopar salvage yard, which you would have seen in previous videos. It's not far off the route, but it's far enough that it's a gravel driveway and not an easy one, so I don't want to put people through that. But Clay and Sons Mopar junkyard, salvage yard, that's basically like 15 minutes off of Route 66 near Pacific, Missouri. But the way the route has this going is we get on at the Gateway, we get on the highway, and we basically fly through St. Louis. Basically just completely skip, because we're going to be there during rush hour traffic in the morning. So they want to get us up and around that as quick as possible. And basically they take us to Pacific, Missouri area, and then we get back on to original Route 66. I'm hoping that the timing works out, that we can stop at the Shamrock Courts Motel. It's an old, Route 66 staple. That's a cool one. There's also the Wagon Wheel. That's really neat. That's outside of Cuba, Missouri, and it's old cabins that have been restored. There's an old gas pump out front, gas station. So that should be really neat. I've been there before with my friend Jason and Laura. Well, we've driven past it. So I'm excited to go hit that thing up again. There is a new one that's called the George Reed Roadside Neon Park. It's kind of like the Route 66 experience at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, but in Missouri. It's new, so I don't know what to expect. I've seen a few pictures of it online, but it looks really neat. So I think it'll be a really nice little stop. And then from there, there's the Route 66 Car Museum in Springfield. I've been there. It's very nice. Is it worth going to? I'm not planning on going there between the venues. I might go there after the venue, but we'll see. There's a lot of cool restaurants in Springfield. Big Hurt's Donut. There's an original Steak and Shake. There's this place called Casper's that I'm excited to try. Mike Meads will lead us around, because it's going to be a lot of fun, because like I said, he lives there. So that's going to be a really packed day, because also the travel day from St. Louis to Springfield, the venue is at Missouri State University. And from what I can see on Google, it's going to be a very dispersed show. There's no singular large parking lot, and I'm expecting a lot of traffic. Make sure you have your cooling system up to snuff, like I was saying. I'm pretty sure I'll be good, I hope, with 300,000 miles and the original radiator, but we'll see. That's going to be, from all the ones that I've seen, that's probably going to be the roughest for traffic. So just a heads up. So on Friday, the last travel day and the last day on the Hot Rod Power Tour, we're going from Basically, we're going from Springfield, Missouri to Tulsa Raceway in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Again, this is a lot of really famous Route 66, history on this. Like, I believe we go past the famous cars on Route 66, like the one that they based the movie Cars on. But when also, we're going past the Blue Whale. Oh, what the MoPowered Tour is doing, though, is we're going to go to this place called Red Oak. Actually, it's called Red Oak 2. This gentleman who bought a town and moved it onto his property. And it's got everything from a schoolhouse to an old gas station. There's peacocks running around. There's a bridge. A really neat place. Like, that will be definitely worth the stop. And then I'm hoping that, like, we're going to pass by the Gary's gas station, famous place on Route 66, the Spencer gas station, the Blue Whale. So there's a lot of really neat things to do on this part. But unfortunately, because there's nothing on Saturday, most people want to get up and go home. But you don't get this opportunity very often. So I think taking a little bit of extra time to go, because they are not going to, lock the gates on us. Basically, you show up at Tulsa, you check in, they give you your sign, and then you go home. So that is the rough idea of what the MoPowered Tour will be doing on this year's PowerPower Tour. I have confirmation of a handful of people coming, maybe a few more, because it seems like it's been very well received on social media. But I thought it was funny. I was going through all my paperwork and going through a whole bunch of other stuff and found stuff. Like, I found my license plates from the last 2 years, and I got my Caution Power Tour from my friend Murray. But the really neat thing is I found all my signs, and I have signs for every year that they did signs. Originally, they didn't do signs. When I started in 2008, we had a cooler little set with a canteen and I think a sandwich holder. That's in my basement somewhere. But after that, they started doing signs. Like here, this is the 2025 Hot Rod Power Tour sign. It's metal, it's embossed, I think. Yeah, it's embossed. But I was going through and here's 2025, here's 2024, 2023. But the cool thing is I found the first one I had, 2009 Hot Rod Power Tour. I only have one of them. A lot of them I have two because you get two with every pass. But unfortunately, in my garage, I do not have the opportunity to put them up because I don't have walls. So they sit in a pile currently in my garage until that time that I have the opportunity to mount them somewhere. Because I have like 15 years of signs. There used to be a lot more vendors on the Power Tour and used to get bags full of stuff. The last few years, it's definitely been less, and I know there's fewer even this year. Like, I remember the big thing used to be magnets, and I have them. There's some over here, but a lot of the vendors gave away magnets. You would come to their booth, and every year they would give, or every stop they'd give you a different magnet. And they're always like Royal Purple would do it, Holly did it. Nowadays, the big thing is Pilot Truck. They were or are, I don't know, I didn't check the website. They give away these cool mats. You go in there and they stamp it, and then over a few days they give you these cool mats. And I have a bunch of them, and I love them. These things are great. So yeah, that gives you an idea of what we're doing on the Hot Rod Power Tour 2026. It should be a lot of fun. My game plan is to film little segments every day, probably from the stops we make and from the venues. I'm trying to walk more. I've been walking a lot lately, and Power Tour is a great opportunity to walk. I've heard it's going to be hot, so I got to prepare. I have a backpack here I'm going to use for water. So yeah, if you have any comments or have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. Of course, you can find me on Hot Rod Power Tour. I'll be in the Blue Challenger. What else we got going on? After that, I have a week break, and then we have the McCacken at the Gilmore show, and the Mopars at the, what's it called? Mopars in the Park in Fox Lake, Illinois. McCacken's on Saturday, Fox Lake is on Sunday. I'll be at both probably. And then after that, I got a little bit of a break. I need to go do some barn finding, and got to do some junkyarding, and I got to work on the green car. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Big thing this week coming up. Big Boy's coming to town. That's the steam locomotive, the largest in the world, that's operational. I'm going to be chasing that on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday probably of next week, depending on how my schedule goes. And then Power Tour prop. I'll have to, fully clean the blue car and some other odds and ends. So yeah, a lot going on. A lot of good things going on. Everyone, I hope, is, in that final Power Tour prep. And I will see you on the road. Of course, if you have any comments or questions, all my socials are below. Otherwise, everyone stay safe until then.